painting and decorating now. But started getting the phone calls from friends, old associates saying, you know, do you want to come and do this? This is available. We've got this option. We've got that option. So, you know, before long I went, do you know what? Actually, yeah, I've had enough of this. You know, an offer came along and I thought, well, that's easy. I could do that. I can make some money.
So for you, was it always about the money?
No.
Or was it the thrill of what you was doing?
For me, it was very much actually not about the money. I mean, obviously it is initially. But I soon learned that with me, it was more the adrenaline, particularly with the international stuff, because obviously the consequences are more serious. I realised after the first run that we did out to Ecuador and brought back about 4 kilos of coke, I realised that after having processed it out, that it wasn't so much the money, it was the planning of the whole deal and pulling it off and getting away with it and, you know, getting it through. And
how was that first trip like? So, like, you've got the call now. How did the whole process come about for you to end up in Ecuador?
So I hooked up with some... Basically, I got a friend of mine to find me a contact up in London. So I came up to London, to Kennington, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, South London.
Yeah, South London. Met some Colombians and another guy from Chile. And basically we started doing a couple of deals with them just in Britain, just to, you know, work out who was who and what was what. And on about the third one, I just said to him, look, actually the real purpose of me being here is because I wanted to start importing coke, and thought you might be able to hook us up with somebody over in Colombia. And they said, well, actually we're already bringing in coke and we're already bringing it in plastic. And I'd hit upon the idea of, you know, converting it into plastic or rubber when I was in Parkhurst after reading a newspaper article.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is good. This is like divine intervention. You know, these guys.
So this is molding the cocaine into plastic. So
they actually
processing it.
I mean, they get the coke, put it into liquid plastic, and then let that set into like a thin sheet of rubber, a bit like the inner tube of a bicycle tire, that sort of rubber. And then just put it as a sheet into the bottom of the tent. Yeah, was what we were using as camouflage. And I decided to do the first trip myself.
Oh wow!
Because I thought I'm not going to send somebody to do something that I've not already done myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to know how it feels. I'm not going to know what they might be going through, how they're going to feel, what they might encounter, problems, all the rest of it. So flew out to Ecuador. You know, we'd had it all arranged. Things made up. The guy brought it down from Colombia to Ecuador, to Quito. So yeah, flown out there with KLM, had a little holiday, met the guy, this ex-military guy from Colombia, 6'2", crew cut.
Yeah. Must have been a scary sight though. The first time you get
it was a bit scary, yeah.
Because I'm sure you've watched all the films then now, Scarface. And you're all about like Pablo Escobar and all that stuff. So now you're facing.
I've met some of his friends actually.
Oh wow,
Pablo Escobar's friends.
Yeah.
Since being in prison in Ecuador.
Yeah.
But the first trip, you know, the guy sent a taxi for me, collected me from the hotel. So we disappeared up into the barrios, you know, the surrounding towns of Quito, you know, the rough areas, not knowing where I was going, and it's at night time. Pulled up near this garage, and the guy's going, oh, you know, jump out here. So I wait in there, and this guy's approached me. He was the Colombian, taking me to this gated compound. Walked up some stairs, through a door. Door's closed behind me, and there's a like a rifle on the back of the door.
Wow.
So I'm now in this building. There's obviously guns present. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking, God, am I going to walk out of here alive? And, you know, we're all a bit tense, all a bit nervous because it's the first one. And they said, you know, come here, look at this. So they've rolled out the tent and he's cut open just a little corner of it and he's going to chew this. And, you know, I've realised that by chewing it, I'm going to see whether there's coke in it or not because my mouth is going to go numb.
Yeah.
So a little chew on the corner of this tent. And sure enough, my mouth's gone numb. I go, yeah, that's great. It's all good. Good to go. So, yeah, taking it to the airport, which was a deal in itself, because I got to the airport not realising that there was a luggage allowance of about 30 kilos.
Oh, okay. And how big was this tent?
This 10-man tent on its own was about 30 or 40 kilos.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And not only that, I've gone and bought loads of like ceramic plates and gifts for my family, like heavy items.
Yeah.
So they weigh my luggage, and it's over 100 kilos now.
Wow.
So they said, look, you're going to have to get rid of some of this stuff. Do you want to get rid of that tent? I said, no, I can't get rid of the tent.
Item,
yeah. So I've had to give away all these gifts, nice gifts of, T-shirts and plates and whatnot to the people working in the airport.
Oh, you gave it to them?
Yeah, just just to lower the weight.
So now you're bringing your family back just cocaine.
Yeah, just a tent.
Yeah.
So obviously this must have flagged up with I don't know, customs or Interpol or something, because I've arrived in Holland at Schiphol, and sure enough, there's a row of anti-narcotic officers there.
Yeah.
And as I'm filing through, I've seen one of them look up. He's clocked my face, said something to his colleagues, and they've all looked at me, and I've gone, "Oh God, here we go." So they pulled me in, and luckily the tent went through. In
the scan. Yeah.
No, it was transferred. Didn't come up.
Oh, okay.
From plane to plane.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because in transit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, they've taken me into a room and interviewed me, and I've said, look, I was just on holiday. Here's where I've been. This is what I've been doing. Just kept a straight face, and they went, oh, okay, you can go. So I got on the plane to Stansted, thinking any minute now when I come off, I'm going to get pulled and ripped to pieces.
Yeah.
Went through nothing. Got the tent. Got back. Happy days. Processed it out.
How much kilos was that in the
4
in the tent?
in that first one.
Yeah. Wow. So then, did you go back again the second time around, or did you start sending?
No, that's when we started sending over passengers.
Yeah. How often was you doing this?
At least once a month.
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
Bringing out how much?
Between 3 and 5 kilos at a time.
Wow. But when people say they send mules, like, so how does an average mule look like? So I'm in the airport.
There is no average for a mule. People always say, "Oh, what's the typical mule look like?" There's no typical mule. In fact, we would go for anything opposite to the typical.
Yeah.
So we've used business people, we've used elderly people, we've used
What's the oldest you say you've used?
The oldest guy that went over was like 82.
Wow.
Ex-bank manager.
Yeah.
He's dead now, so we talk about it. But yeah. Wow. 82-year-old ex-bank manager used to work for Lloyd's Bank.
No way.